Alright folks, so let's have a closer look at New 52 Justice League 7-pack Superman.
Folks, what is there to say about Superman that hasn't been said so far? You know, we love him to death. I could gush about Superman all day. And I especially love, and I think Jared will agree with me, Superman's new 52 costume.
As we can see, Superman's New 52 costume is a wonderful achievement in design, and I believe Jim Lee should be very proud. He's taken a classic costume and reinvented it in a very sleek and modern way. I was always scared to death of a collared Superman costume, but Jim Lee has made it safe for the collared Superman uniform. As we can see, no detail has been spared on the translation of this costume. Thankfully, there's even a small paint app that shows Superman's S-shield shaped belt buckle, and the symbol is very appropriately painted and large. It's actually much more in the shape I would prefer it to be than the DC Unlimited figure had interpreted it. We even have the collar painted on, which is mostly hidden by Superman's massive Pixar-style jaw. And, of course, the boots are pretty much the traditional Superman boots. Anyway, now, on the back, me and Brandon particularly love this. This is not some kind of weird sort of rubber piece or anything on there. This is a print that is on the back of the cape of the really cool black S-shield that's appearing on the back of Superman's cape in New 52 comic books from fine newsstand retailers everywhere. So I love this little detail. I think it's really awesome. Not to mention how nice this cloth cape is.
And it was a big surprise, too. We didn't expect that, application on the back of the cape. So just really good attention to detail and just something extra that pushes him over the line. Superman, of course, sports the basic Brave and the Bold articulation. He has a cut at the neck, cuts at the shoulders, hinges at the elbows, a cut at the waist, and cuts at the hips. Something I'd like to point out that you should keep in mind with all of your Brave and the Bold figures and these new 52 figures is the way that the groin is cut. The legs are made out of a very soft plastic, and if you raise them too much, you can maybe see a little indentation starting there. They will dig into the legs. The top of the groin will cut into the legs, so you may want to keep a good eye on that. If you push it up too far, it will cause some permanent damage. For those of you who are big fans of the Brave and the Bold toy line, you will no doubt remember that we did get a Superman figure, though not the Superman figure that we all would have wanted. Here's the Menace of Metallo box set exclusive Superman. In fact, this, unlike the other characters in the line, this Superman figure was released prior to him appearing in the TV series in a full appearance. He had had a cameo prior, but he had not had a full-on episode, a team-up episode. And we actually didn't really know what he was going to look like in the show either, so we were confused. Is this how he's going to look? Because it's not. Anyway, we finally have a much better Brave and the Bold Superman. This is serviceable. I'm glad we got one, but, his very dopey looking. The S-shield is much too small. I think the blue tone is a little too dark. He looks like a Superman Returns figure, which is really strange, but that's, the color scheme and the size of the shield, it's that's the suit that it matches the best.
Not to mention that, unfortunately, the hex holes translated to the capes on all these figures. So in every Brave and the Bold figure that had a cape, there was this giant gaping hole in the back, and I always hate it when an action feature gets in the way of a cloth cape and creates those kind of gashes in it. Now, let's talk about this head sculpt for a second, Brandon.
Let's get a little bit of background in here so that it's easier to see these guys. Here's the original figure. The eyes are a little wide, a little dopey, just very plain. Now, the new 52 box set figure has much more dignified two-tone eyes. They just look so much better.
I'd also like to point out that a major difference between the two is that the very large, wide neck sculpt is painted on the New 52 Superman to where it is blue. And, of course, this is in line with his appearance in New 52, as Superman has a collar on his outfit. And on the original, as we can see, he has sort of just a flesh-tone neck.
A chubby neck, if you will.
And it sort of creates a even doughier looking head. So overall, I'm glad to see that head sculpt actually done justice by the New 52 figure, and a definite winner in this category.
And just for kicks, here he is with the, believe it or not, this is the only single-carded Superman figure released for Brave and the Bold. The 6 people out there who are big fans of the Legion of Superheroes cartoon on Kids WB will recognize this as the color scheme for the evil clone of Superboy. such an odd homage, but I kind of dig it. I mean, I liked it enough to buy it. But here he is compared with the New 52 Superman, and it makes sort of a cool. You could consider this the evil clone of Superman, I suppose, for the context of the toy line.
Kind of have a Superman 3 battle going on here.
Exactly. This cape is actually even rattier than the other Superman. A lot of odd tugs, the way that it was packed into the card. I don't know. The QC went out the window, and those lighter Brave and the Bold waves, I'm afraid to say. But fortunately, that's not a problem with the New 52 box set. And there was our closer look at New 52 Superman from the Target 7-pack. Very good figure. I was surprised with how much I liked this one. In fact, I expected him to be quite plain. I had not been super thrilled with the Superman from Brave and the Bold, as excited as I was to finally get the character who was available in the Metallo 3-pack. But there's just a whole lot to like here. It does reuse that sculpt, with the exception of the plugs being retooled. Just a really great paint job. And I think maybe my favorite element, and a big surprise, is the S-shield on the back of the cape.
I feel like this figure is a definite step up from the previous one. As we mentioned, it is the same head sculpt. However, with the improved paint application here and the way that the neck is painted blue, it takes away a lot of the doughiness of that previous head sculpt. Yeah. And just the general design of the costume and the care that's been taken to get it right in all the minute ways that they should have is just really impressive. And I have to say that this figure is a definite 4.5 out of 5 stars.
I think so. One of the strong leaders for the set. I like that word to use to describe them, doughy. I think that was a common characteristic of a lot of the Brave and the Bold figures. They had very flat, very basic color schemes. And I think it's interesting to see how much some line application, like the New 52 lines, are applied to Green Lantern and Flash and Superman here, that really add a lot of sharpness to molds, which are soft, very cushy, doughy, like you said.
Alright guys, so thank you very much, and that's been our review of New 52 Superman. So take care, God bless, comment, subscribe.